Hello everyone, this is my channel Learn Web Technologies. Today we will talk about CSS Layout Overflow. Before starting Overflow Property, just I want to share, I want to talk about something overlapping element. When two elements are overlapping, what does that mean? When elements are positioned, they can overlap other elements. For that, we have a z-index property to specify the stack order of an element, which element should be placed in front or behind the others. Let's see this all with the help of example. This is the same example I'm using in my last video. In my last video, just when you scroll this, then this content is overlapping. So for that, what you should write, you can write in the border, you can specify background property. Background is white. Background white. Just save and then refresh. Now if you scroll, it will not overlapping the content. For now I will talk about z-index. What is z-index? For that, you should firstly you will add an image for this so that you will better understand. I'm just adding image. I have a subscribe dot png image. Just save and then refresh. Till then, no position is applied. Now I'm applying CSS for image tag. Position absolute top 50px. Just save and then refresh. Just remove this div, this position div, and save. Now you will see this image is above the this tag. What you want now? Now you want this image below the Nitin Gupta's text. So for that, what you should write? You have to write z-index -1, z-index properties minus and positive. Now you can see the above text. Okay, everything is above now. Okay, if you want content is images above, then you can just remove that, or you can add a positive z-index 9 or 15 something. So it will above the all content because you applied the z-index in positive. If you want in inside this, you can apply minus. Save and refresh. Now it's coming backward of this. Now I will talk about the main topic is overflow. The CSS overflow property controls what happens to the content that is too big to fit into an area. When the content is bigger than the overall area, then what should you do? Then overflow property will help. Overflow property specify whether to clip the content or to add the scroll bar when the content of an element is too big to fit in the specified area. Overflow properties have the following values: visible, hidden, scroll, and auto. Let's talk about this one. So I'm just removing all this. Just removing all this and adding a div tag. Here I'm adding, this is the paragraph. Okay, and just copy this for multiple times so that scroll will come. Class, you can take overflow, anything you want you can write. Just add a CSS for that. Overflow width is 50%, height is 100px. Now just see what happens to the browser. Nothing will show. You can write border 2px solid. Just save and then refresh. Content is smaller, so you can write it like this. Now what you see, you have a div which have 10% width and height is 100px, and you have a content is bigger than this. So how you will manage this content? You can't increase the height. Now what you will do? So for that we have a overflow property. Okay, visible is default. This is a visible property. In this, content is not clipped. As you can see, it's not clipped. It's not cut basically. So content render outside the element box. Content render outside the element, as we can see this. Now, if we will apply hidden properties, then content is overflow is clipped. Overflow is clipped and the rest of the content is invisible. This content is invisible if we will apply overflow hidden. You can add here overflow hidden. Just save and then refresh. Now content is cut and outside content is invisible. But this is not a good property because you want to show the full content to the user. So for that, what we have a scroll property. The overflow is clipped and the scroll bar is added to see the result. Okay, so now you can add a scroll, overflow, scroll. Just save and then refresh. Scroll. Now you can see here its scroll is coming, but you don't want this scroll one. You just want a horizontal scroll bar, sorry, vertical scroll bar. So for that, what we have a auto similar to the scroll, but it adds scroll only when it necessary. Okay, suppose you have a content of minimum, suppose 50 px, and you applied a overflow scroll property. Still, scroll is coming. You have only single line but still scroll is coming because you added a property overflow scroll. If you apply overflow auto, then the scroll will not come. Okay, if you add a content in scroll tab, scroll will come. So this is the good way to use a scroll. Instead, you can use auto every time because overflow is required when content is exceed the scroll is coming when content is exceed the height of 100 px. If it will not increase the height of this, then scroll will not come. Okay, if you will add a scroll here, then scroll will come. Scroll is coming every time. Okay, so we have some note here. Overflow property only works when the with block level elements with a specified height. If we are using an inline element, then scroll property will not work. Scroll property only works when the element is a block level element. So that's all for today. Thank you guys for listening. Have a great day and please don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you.